Welcome to all of you. We are resuming these messages, food from the heart to the heart, after the novena and the feast. We are coming back to them. So welcome all those of you all who are present in this shrine, as well as all those of you who are watching online. We shall start with a hymn, offering ourselves to God as we share in this session together. From my heart breaks forth a lovely poem. My life entire, O Lord, is yours evermore. If you know it, join in. Otherwise, just listen to the words. From my heart breaks forth this lovely poem. My life entire, O Lord, is yours evermore. From the gifts you shower upon me, I bring to you, Lord, my life, my heart, my whole being, a thirst for you. From my heart breaks forth this lovely poem. My life entire, O Lord, is yours evermore. The theme of today's message is, listen carefully, rephrase your living, reclaim your life. The word reclaim means it was there before, I have lost it along the way, and I'm trying to get it back. And how am I trying to get it back? By rephrasing my living. Most of us believe we are free, and yes, mostly we are. But are we really free? Do we always make free choices when we have to make them? For instance, the toothpaste that you use. If you don't mind my asking you, what toothpaste do you use? Colgate. How many of you here use Colgate? Please put your hands up. Okay, a number of people. Now I'm asking you a simple question. Did you make a choice for that Colgate toothpaste, or was it the toothpaste that is the family toothpaste at home? It's generally the family toothpaste. And sometimes from our parents. My parents use Colgate, my family uses Colgate. We've not made choices. So then we ask ourselves, are we really making choices? Are we really free? Or are we stuck on to what we've been doing earlier? The behavior keeps on repeating itself again and again and again. Nothing wrong with that, please. But we get trapped by the earlier choices. If they are good choices, wonderful. If they are not so good choices, that trap also affects us in the way we behave. Another question for you. Is a bird inside a cage free? Is a bird inside a cage free? Most of you all will say no. A bird inside a cage is caged. It is not free. But is it free to turn around in the cage? Is it free to flap its wings in the cage? Is it free to sing a song in that cage? It is free, but in a limited sense. It's free, but it's limited because there's a cage all around it. So it's important for us to find out what are the cages we are inside and how we can be maximally free inside those cages. Suppose I open the door of the cage, the bird is free to fly outside the cage and go into the wild and whatever else. Is the bird free to choose to remain in the cage when that door is open? Yes. It can choose there also. It can choose there also, or go out of the cage, wander for a while, and then come back in the cage. It's free to remain in the cage by choice. But suppose it says, okay, I'm going to stay inside the cage, and starts feeling miserable. Oh my gosh, I can't go anywhere, I'm locked up inside the cage, and starts becoming miserable, that misery is an extra thing it's adding on to its situation in the cage. It can be happy in the cage, that's its choice, but it should not be complaining about being miserable in that cage. What are these things that make us make these kind of choices and sometimes increase unnecessarily the misery we might be having? Our cages are like labels, and they govern our behavior. We make cages for ourselves, and our behavior is governed by those cages. Suppose I were to ask you, you and your families and even here, how many of you are short-tempered? A number will put up their hands. Every time in confession, everyone who comes and says, I have a short temper. Where did you get this short temper from? Where did it start? Is this a cage that you have put yourself inside and say, now I must shout because I have a short temper? How many of you all are shy? Sometimes we say, I'm very shy, I'm very reserved, I can't talk to anyone. Shyness is also a cage. We are not genetically shy. Please believe this. We are not genetically shy. We are not genetically short-tempered. We build these up because of labors that we are putting on ourselves. I'm asking you all here present in the shrine, how many of you all find it difficult to wake up in the morning? Put your hands up. Nobody? How wonderful. At least one person finds it difficult to wake up in the morning. But if there's a picnic, you'll get up, no? If there's a picnic, you'll get up early in the morning and go. If there's a football match you want to watch, so it's not as though we cannot do it. We make a statement about it. I cannot wake up in the morning. Most children also, I can't wake up in time to go for school, right? So we say that and then we get lost. So a label, a phrase has caught us and our behavior is affected by that phrase. Or sometimes we say, I'm always procrastinating. I'm always doing things at the last minute. But sometimes you do it at an earlier minute. So these are not genetic. They are phrases, they are labels we put on ourselves and lock ourselves into a certain kind of behavior. Of course, there are good labels also. I am neat. That's a good label. Live up to it. I am punctual. I am prayerful. So these are good labels we can put, or good phrases that we put into our lives. And once we put the good phrases into our lives, we can make these things work for us. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and say, oh my gosh, I don't feel well today. You've just made a simple statement, I don't feel well today, I must be sick. What you immediately do is you hunt for symptoms of that sickness. Yes, I had a headache last night. Yes, I didn't sleep well at night. Yes, my leg is paining, my hand is paining, whatever. So you hunt for symptoms to justify the label you have put on yourself because you're feeling sick. Of course, actually you might be feeling sick also. That's another question. But very often we add labels into our lives, hunting for them. Symptoms. Where do these come from? Where do these labels come from? They come from our upbringing and they are reinforced as we grow older. You'll be amazed how wonderful mothers are, and they can interpret the feelings and the sentiments and the thoughts of a little baby. The baby is 2 months old. The baby is 2 months old. And while the mother is feeding it, it does and then the mother says, see what a stubborn child this is. He's got a hot temper. The poor fellow doesn't know how to spell hot temper. He's got a hot temper. He's a stubborn child. And little by little, that label remains with the child and grows up to be stubborn and grows up, if the label continues, to be a hot-tempered person. These labels are called self-fulfilling prophecies. So prophecies are made about the child, and the child, who, as he grows up, fulfills these prophecies. If you say, I am shy, the next time you meet a group of people, you have to back off because you're shy. That's a prophecy you're making. Or I am neat and punctual, then you will be neat and punctual. So you make a prophecy and fulfill those prophecies. We own them. They are part of us. Many people are clumsy. I've given talks to sometimes 600 people, and I say, how many of you all are clumsy? And a number of hands go up. But then I catch one person and say, why do you say you are clumsy? And this person says, I'm always bumping into walls and I'm always dropping things. So then I ask the person, have you bumped into a wall today? No. Have you dropped something today? No. So when did you last drop something? 2 days ago. So why are you saying you are clumsy? You dropped it 2 days ago. You dropped it some time back. So what might have happened was, when the little child was moving around and held a glass and dropped it, and the glass broke, the mother said, clumsy child, what is wrong with you? Why did you drop the glass? And when the neighbors come, the mothers announced to all the neighbors, look at my child, she's so clumsy. And the word clumsy sticks into that child's head. And little by little, the clumsy becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the person says, you are not clumsy, you have dropped a glass. So we need to rephrase these sentences we are making that wrap us into a certain kind of behavior. We have to change our labels. We have to rephrase, put new phrases on our living. Don't put these negative, self-fulfilling prophecies into your life. And then if we do this, we can reclaim our life. What was your life? Each of one has been created in the image and in the likeness of God. So I'm asking you, is God shy? You are created in His image and likeness. Is God clumsy? You are created in His image and likeness. Is God short-tempered? No. So we have to get back to being in the image of likeness of God and have these wonderful positive phrases about us which we actually own. These are the phrases. We are devout. We are caring. We are loving. We are beautiful. We reach out to others when they help us. These are the labels that should govern our lives and not these unnecessary things. I'm going to give you a few labels which we use and correct them for you. You can work on the others. One label is the word sacrifice. We use it very often. When I use the word sacrifice, mothers use it, parents use it, lovers use it. I have made so many sacrifices for you. And when you think of sacrifice, especially from the Old Testament, a calf or a goat or a ram is put on an altar and chopped up, and this sacrifice is offered to God. So there is some kind of deprivation and pain. I have made a sacrifice for you. And sometimes parents use it to blackmail their children. I have made so many sacrifices for you, and you have done this thing for me. You have retaliated in such a strong, painful way. The word sacrifice means offering to God. So instead of the word sacrifice, incidentally, in the Eucharist, the word sacrifice is hardly used. The word that is used is, and I'm asking you to rephrase your sacrifice, the word that is used is offering. You don't make an offering with pain. An offering is joyfully made. So mothers make offerings of their life for the sake of the children. The Mass is an offering. If I love you, I will not make sacrifices for you. I will make offerings for you. And offerings are freely given. They are willingly given. They are eagerly given. Take. All our lives, if we are offerings, our lives become so beautiful. You don't have to worry about sacrifices. There's no suffering in offerings. There's joy, there is eagerness, there's wonder. You're ready, you're willing. And the Mass is an offering of yourself through the Eucharist to God Himself. So the first word you please change in your life is sacrifice. Do not make sacrifices for anybody. Make offerings of your life, and they are joyfully made. The second word, once again in our liturgy and whatever, the word commandment. We use the word commandment. The commandment word comes from the army. We command you and you command you and you have to do it. You have to, there's an obligation. Make it invitation, the 10 invitations of God instead of 10 commandments. The invitation to love of Jesus. Greater love than this no man has. Offer yourself to God through invitations because He's inviting and we are responding to the invitation. Even when He says, come follow me, Jesus told the apostles, they were invitations. And they readily, eagerly, totally followed and accepted those invitations. So please change the word commandment to invitation and then respond joyfully, willingly, happily to these invitations. Another one, this may not be related to the Mass and spirituality, but the word tolerate. The word tolerate. It's a phrase, and we say, I can tolerate, I cannot tolerate. The word tolerate implies that you are doing something wrong which I'm bearing up with. I will tolerate your nonsense. And once you say tolerate, if you cross the threshold of that tolerate, I will beat you up. India is supposed to be a very tolerant country. We tolerate one another. But if you cross some threshold of tolerance, we have communal riots. How can you have riots if you're tolerant? We are not tolerant, please. So change the word tolerant to acceptance. We do not tolerate one another's religions. We accept one another's religions. And there is a beautiful way in which we can live together. If you want to go one step higher, don't just accept one another's religions, appreciate one another's religions. And then if you appreciate, I will see the good in your religion, you will see the good in my religion. Acceptance and appreciation is what tolerance and patience also be turned into. Patience is not a virtue. They say it's the mother of all virtues. But sometimes if a child is misbehaving, the mother says, I am being patient with you. It's a threat. So we change that and suddenly we realize there's a positive approach we are having because we've rephrased an unnecessary word and put something beautiful into it. What about praying? Praying also can be changed. Sometimes we say our prayers. Have you said your morning prayer? Have you said your night prayer? Have you said your prayer before meals? These are prayers. Nothing wrong with it. But can you change from saying prayers to praying? In the Bible, in the Gospel, nowhere is it said that Jesus said prayers. He prayed. Father, if it is possible, let this chalice pass me by. Father, glorify my name. He's praying. He's lifting his mind and heart to God. And if he can do this, we can pray rather than say prayers. Our own prayer becomes so much better. And I would push you to another level. Don't only pray. Can you be a prayer? Can you be a prayer? In other words, if prayer is raising your mind and heart to God, when you are a prayer, you are lifting yourself totally to become one with God. We often sing hymns like, walk with me, O my Lord. Walk with me, O my Lord, through the darkest night and brightest day. Be at my side, O Lord. Hold my hand and guide me on my way. When you're singing this song, you're telling Jesus that he's not walking with you. Your fault. Why are you going somewhere else? Walk with me, O my Lord. Be at my side, O Lord. Hold my hand, my Lord. I have to hold his hand. I have to walk with him. I have to be at his side. And when we are doing this, then we realize that we've rephrased our relationship with Jesus to, I will take the initiative. I will walk with Jesus. I will be with Jesus. And if that is, then I'm at peace. I'm with him all the time. And this is the wonderful thing that can happen. See whether now, during this session, you can wake yourself up during the meditation, the adoration here, to connect with God, to change the stupid words, your Colgate toothpaste, if you want, of spirituality, and to put into it new life, new living, becoming better, because then your own life is blessed because you are walking with God, you've rephrased your life, you have gone to his side, you have rephrased your life, you have held his hand because you have rephrased your life. I'll end with a little story. there was an orthopedist who was very good at working on people whose backs were damaged. And once when a crowd was sitting inside, an old woman walked in with a short walking stick, about 1.5 foot. And she was all bent down. She was bent down and moving little by little. And she sat down, all bent down and crouched, with this 1.5 foot walking stick. And then when her turn came in, she went inside. And the orthopedist worked for some time with her. Then when she came out, she was standing straight with a long walking stick. So the people around said, "Hey, what happened? Are you cured?" He says, "Yes, now I'm walking straight." So they asked her, "What did the doctor do?" He said, "The doctor just gave me a longer walking stick. Instead of that short walking stick that she was bending down with, she had a long walking stick, and now she was walking straight very happily." Change your walking sticks. Don't grab hold of the wrong walking sticks and be all bent down. In our relationship with God, change your phrases, change your labels, change your walking sticks, and then reclaim your life. Become that image and likeness of God that God has created you in and for. Just 1 minute, okay. From my heart breaks forth this lovely poem. My life entire, O Lord, is yours evermore. I thank you, O Master of life. You have made me for yourself, and my heart shall have no repose till it rests in you. From my heart breaks forth this lovely poem. My life entire, O Lord, is yours evermore.
We are privileged to have in our midst today our very dear Bishop of the Diocese of Nashik, Bishop Lutz Daniel. I think I am qualified to talk about Bishop Lutz because I've known him for close to 30 years. And from the first time I met him, when he was Father Lutz Daniel, till this very day, I have said that there is one quality about him which he has retained. If I were to describe Bishop Lutz when he was Father Lutz, this is how I would describe him. Father Lutz is a priest of God and a priest of the people. Father Lutz is a priest of the people and a priest of God. Today, close to 30 years after I first knew him as Father Lutz, I now know him as Bishop Lutz. And once again, I were to describe him, Bishop Lutz is a bishop of God and a bishop of the people. Bishop Lutz is a bishop of the people and a bishop of God. The reason is because in Bishop Lutz, you will find that the horizontal dimension that is reaching out to the people and among them the poor is so evident. But it is evident because his contact is with God. So his inspiration is from God, given to the people. He receives what the people give and takes it to God. Today, we as the Jesuit community at the shrine and also at the MPSM, which is close to us, have all assembled here. I would request all the Jesuits to kindly come and Bishop Lutz to kindly come, where we will have two things now. Bishop Lutz will release the 8th issue of IJ Matters. A part of this issue is dedicated to him and a part of it to the Shrine Feast, which we just celebrated. Then we will have Bishop Lutz cut the cake, and all who are here will share of that cake like we share of the body of Christ. So kindly bring the cake here. Bosco, kindly come. All the other Jesuits who are here, please come. In 2 days from this day, that is on the 19th of February, Bishop Lutz will celebrate his birthday. We are anticipating it because that day we will not be able to get a chance to even meet him. The people will throng the cathedral. So we did a wise thing by inviting him here and asking him to cut the cake for us. Open it fully. Open it fully. Yeah. Come, please come. Patrick, Joel, Paul, Bishop Lutz, we will request you to kindly come. Augustine, Terry, kindly release the magazine. As Bishop Lutz cuts the cake for his 75th birthday, we will sing all together, even though in your homes you can sing all together. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bishop Lutz. Happy birthday to you. May the infant Jesus bless you and Our Lady too. Happy birthday, Bishop Lutz. Happy birthday to you. All of you who are here, when you are leaving, we will bring the cake there and give each of you a small piece that you can enjoy. Bishop Lutz, would you want to say a few words? So the whole community has come here, so we're very grateful that Bishop Lutz accepted our invitation.
Dear Father Errol, dear fathers, my dear people, it is something unexpected. It's also a sign of love. Thank you for being so genuine, like a child. I allowed this thing to happen in the shrine. Ultimately, it is love that matters. The Lord speaks of love, as Father Terry said, the commandment of love, and this is what we are practicing. Thank you. You set a blueprint for me to reach out to people and to reach out to God. And I pray that the Lord will give me the grace to do the same today and the rest of my life. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your prayers.
I thank Father Terry for that beautiful presentation. Now I request him to expose the Blessed Sacrament. We'll have a few moments of silent adoration, after which I request Bishop Lutz to give the final blessing. We will remain silent after the Blessed Sacrament is exposed. We thank all of you for joining us on this program and remind you that this program will continue every Thursday. In the season of Lent, we will have a new program titled Thursdays in Lent. There are 6 Thursdays in the season of Lent, and every Thursday at 7 in the evening, we will have a spiritual input. Even as you remain in your homes, those of you who are here go home, we request you to continue to keep our bishop in your prayers. He will retire officially, but not physically and practically. Officially, yes, so he'll be known as Bishop Emeritus, which means he'll be allowed the title of bishop, but he may not be given the responsibility. If the powers that be in Rome think that there is no one else in Nashik diocese who is worthy, they will say, Bishop Lutz, you have to continue for 1 more year, like they are doing in so many places. So it's the Lord's will, and we accept, as Father Terry has shown us so beautifully, to accept the Lord's will. The more we open our hearts, the easier it is to be happy. Thank you very much for your cooperation. God bless you all. Thank you, Father Terry. You want to say something? God bless you all, and good night.